Auzubillah minash shaitanir rajim. Bismillah ar-Rahman rahim. My name is Professor Dr. Rahila. I'm from Department of Rifa Academy of Research and Education. I feel honored to introduce that we have arranged a webinar for our great students on this COVID era in helping you in online teaching and assessment and learning. And I welcome you all. Thank you very much for joining us. We have a different presenter. This is the program. It's nearly 1 hour plus. Maybe if the question answer session extends, maybe we take more than 1 hour. So these are your presenters who will present and useful. All of us think that you need to understand right now because you are involving in teaching and learning nowadays and assessment as well. Assessment is the heart of the curriculum that derives learning. So we thought out that you should understand thoroughly what are the assessment tools you need to understand and how you attempt it and how we can provide the feedback to you. So we have our great Dean, Journal Azhar, and your principal with us to introduce you the online teaching and learning at IMC in this COVID pandemic. May I invite Journal Azhar to start his talk?
Thank you very much, Professor Rahila Yasmin. Bismillah ar-Rahman ar-Rahim. My very dear students, respected vice principals, honorable faculty members, Assalamu alaikum. My dear students, I would just simply give you a broad outline. But my main purpose is सबसे पहले आप लोगों के लिए दुआ कि अल्लाह आपको, आपके घर वालों को सेहत और तंदुरुस्ती अता फरमाए और अपने हिफ्ज़ो अमान में रखे. My dear students, the main purpose in a human being's life, they are very simple. They are just two: to be a good person and an excellent professional. And that is our purpose, the purpose of our institution, to turn you into an excellent human being and an excellent professional based on the solid foundations of Islamic ethical values. My dear students, you know, these are very challenging times. And apart from challenging, the issue that these are very uncertain times. We just don't know when this corona assault is going to end. And keeping this in view, when the institutions were closed, right after a day on the direction of the Chancellor, the Vice Chancellor, Deputy Vice Chancellor, our administration, the Executive Director, immediately we started working on that you should not lose any time. And immediately for online education, everyone, here I must commend my vice principals, each and every faculty member, HODs, and very specifically Professor Rahila Yasmin and Professor Rehan Ahmed Khan. These people are working day and night to reach to you and our outstanding IT department. And I must take Saqib Gondal's name as well. He is assisting Professor Rahila Yasmin. And I tell you, every day, there is not a single day they have taken any rest. Hats off to them. And I would say, when you come back, you must appreciate your teachers for taking all these pains. Regarding teaching, we are imparting to you online the knowledge part. And this was our policy that we are going to follow the timetable. And by the grace of God, I think that things are going quite well. And I am amazed that the attendance online is better than what it was in the lecture halls. And I think when you come back, you are going to tell us, send us back homes, we are very happy online. But there are issues as far as clinical teaching goes. We are doing it partially. As in detail, later on, the faculty will tell you the psychomotor part is deficient. We have a plan, what to do in that case, which will be elaborated later by the faculty. So here I would also like to appreciate your cooperation, your passion, and your enthusiasm to continue with the studies. So I congratulate you on this involvement in education. I've got 5 minutes. Here I would say, give us the feedback. Each and every day, write down how was the day, how was the teaching, what were the problems you faced. And as I said, we have a plan, those who face problems, how to deal with those issues. This will be a very good journal you are going to make, that in the times of Corona, how the things fared. And now there is a joke going on that 100 BC will mean before Corona, not before Christ. Another, I would request you that in these times contribute to at the national level or institutional level. And mashallah, Rifa International University has prepared themselves very well to deal with the Corona patients. When you come back, you will see. I will end here. Thank you very much. Allah Ta'ala आप लोगों का हामी हो नासिर हो, आप लोगों के लिए दुआएं, आप लोग हमारे लिए दुआ करें. Thank you very much. Allah Hafiz.
Thank you, sir. Thank you very much for a very motivational talk. And we really need leaders like you to keep us motivated, faculty and student both. And we need your support as well. Thank you, sir. May I invite our next speaker, our Vice Principal, Professor Maqsoodul Hasan, to deliver his talk to his students.
Thank you, Madam Raila. Bismillah ar-Rahman ar-Rahim. Dear students, Assalamu alaikum. I have been entrusted with the task to share with you the plan of study as we have outlined and the expectations that we have from you on how you will go about your studies. Let me start with the plan of study that we have laid out. Keep in mind 3 deadlines. We expect the colleges to or university to reopen on 31st May as the government has announced leave up till 31st May. The second deadline that we have kept, if it gets extended, is 30th June, and the third deadline is 31st July. If we can, within these deadlines, some of the deadlines, if we can do, the purpose of this very plan of study is to keep your academic year restricted to 1 academic calendar year. What we have planned is, before I move on to that plan, I would like to sort of say the way you have shown your eagerness and optimism to online studies has sort of boldened us to share all this and continue with what we are doing. Keeping in mind the deadlines, now I'll talk to you about teaching learning activity. We know that we can impart knowledge online very easily. We'll have difficulty in attitude and psychomotor training imparting. So that's why we'll talk about it a little bit later. The teaching learning activity will be based on the timetables that we were already making for normal activity during our normal working days and uploading them on Muallim. You can continue to look at those timetables and those timetables will be followed. Second, that any glitches in internet or will be tidied over by our coordinators for each class that we have nominated. The assessment part for your teaching learning activity will be which has now started and which will be formative assessments for you. It will be of MCQs, OSPs, OSCEs and SLIs. If somebody misses it because of inordinate reasons, we'll give up assignments, forward assignments to those students, and these we are keeping records of these tests with us. We are also keeping record of your attendance and monitoring your attendance in each of the classes. Please ensure that you are present in your classes. As we have already said, there will be gaps. So as we go along completing our modules, we'll be carrying out gaps assessment as to what we really covered online and what we could not cover. For those gaps, we'll plan augmented activity as and when the university opens. And those will be sort of abridged module running timetables. Those will be found on feedbacks from module coordinator and his or her academic team, and the feedbacks of the students that they could not get this particular part, so that we have an abridged module as and when the university opens. You have to remember the deadlines once again, and I'll go back to these deadlines. If the 31st May deadline persists and we are lucky to get our university opened by 31st May, gets opened by 1st of June, then we do not need to go forward from formative assessment anyway. We'll stick to formative assessments as such, and those will be part of your record. If it is 30th June, we'll start training you on mid-stake assessment modalities by 15th of June onwards. We'll also start training coining methodology for mid-stake assessments. But the training and mock runs will continue from 15th June to 15th July, but we'll give you a schedule of mid-stake assessment if, God forbid, they are required to be had on online by 15th of June. We will give you the layout of when the mid-stake assessments or CBAs will be held. Those will not be held before 31st of July online. And if and when the college opens, your mid-stake assessment timetables will also be made at least 15 days prior to you joining the college and shared with you. This was about our plan of study as we sort of go about it. And our expectations with you are that you will stick to your timetables, continue with your eagerness and enthusiasm for studies, keep your cameras on when you are attending your classes. Although the university, the instructions were contrary to this, we have realized and we've talked to the university authorities that we need to have interactive live sessions. We request you to sort of designate a distraction-free study space for yourself in your house, in your residence, or wherever you can sort of securely attend. our sessions. For that, I would say you should first check for the internet connections, those are good or not. Two, if you require headphones, you should have those headphones, and an organized system of keeping your notes. Both on your copy and pen should be on the side, and if you want to take the notes, you can take those notes. We request you to be actively participating in your class. Your reaching out to your teachers will help you in sort of grasping whatever is being taught to you during the session. And we'd request you to keep track of your progress, because we need your feedback to do our gaps assessment. So to keep track of your progress in a particular module, and do let us know what are the gaps that you think need to be covered when the university gets opened. Take the assessment seriously. We have methodology to check who is doing his own work and who is trying to copy from the other. And please stay organized. I wish you well during this trying testing period. Stay organized and stay well. God be with you. Thank you very much.
Thank you, sir. Thank you for very informative talk for the student and us as well. Students may write down their question on a side, and when we ask you to post your question, you can post on your question answer test box. May I invite our next presenter, Professor Umar Awab, to deliver a talk on teaching online in clinical environment, how to cope it, the challenges. Dr. Professor Umar Awab.
Bismillahir Rahmanir Rahim. Respected Dean, Faculty of Health and Allied Sciences, General Professor Azhar Rashid Saab, our leader. My respected colleagues, dear students, Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullah. I hope you all will be fine at your homes and will be experiencing these new patterns of your social and domestic life, and which also now includes online teaching. First of all, I would like to emphasize on the fact, as discussed before, that this pandemic has changed our lives so much that we couldn't even imagine, anticipate, and think about it a few weeks back in our lives. And it has also reminded us about the fact that how short the span of one's life may be. May Allah keep us under the shower of His mercy and save us all from all evils. It has shattered and changed our lifestyles and social structure, and so is the case with clinical teaching as well, which has suddenly changed from real clinical life to a virtual environment. So we have to accept it that under the present circumstances, online teaching is not now a choice of a medical student, a teacher, a school, or a university, but it is rather a sort of compulsion under the prevailing circumstances created by this pandemic. It is a pride for us that we are one of very few medical schools who have transformed so quickly to online teaching in Pakistan, and we are among pioneers in starting and adopting new interventions in this field, alhamdulillah. Dear students, we are accustomed as clinicians to lively clinical wards and patients, which have different behaviors, they have different backgrounds, they have different attitudes. There is a variety of clinical problems and versatile clinical findings, which we find out while we are examining the patients. But now we have shifted from a real clinical environment, unfortunately, to a virtual clinical environment. Our basic challenges are thus not only how to deliver knowledge, but also how to maintain the virtual clinical environment as real as it was a few weeks back. There are many benefits of online teaching, but have some challenges and difficulties as well. And we have to learn to cope with them. We have to learn and gain experience and improve our methodology especially while dealing with clinical teaching. An important portion of clinical teaching which deals with knowledge is somewhat easy to deliver through online resources, as we have been doing in last 3 weeks through lectures, small group discussions, clerkship program, DCH, and problem-based learning. For this, we are following our timetable and original annual calendar. And we have been using PowerPoint presentations with audios and live online discussions. However, we can further enhance this outcome by better use of Muallim and its excellent teaching tools. We can create discussion forums by breaking the class into small groups in platforms like Muallim, Microsoft Teams, and Zoom, with concentration on discussion on case scenarios. We can also use these platforms for assignments focused on critical thinking and clinical decisions. As I discussed before, clinical teaching is traditionally done best in the presence of a clinical environment where patient plays an important role. Human interaction and the communication with a live patient is such an art which cannot be replaced by online teaching. However, we can apply certain models and interventions to overcome this deficiency. For this, we can use certain simulated patients. We can use different websites in which students can learn different modalities of interaction of medical staff with the patient through video tutorials. We can also motivate our students for learning by doing asynchronous discussions. Our students can also use web-based applications for case and scenario-based problem solving, and that will help a lot while we are out of our live wards. We can also improve learning by role play as patient and clinician by students and teachers. Similarly, many other web-based tools can be utilized for this purpose. We can learn the clinical skills of history taking and examination by watching these videos and then making our own schemes and then applying these schemes in normal people, our friends or even relatives. This may look odd to a lot of you, but in my opinion and experience, making schemes for history taking and clinical methods and then practicing them on normal persons are very good way of acquiring required competency when we are outside the clinical environment. In addition to these interventions, we are proud that university has purchased 600 licenses of a software which is known as Visual DX, which is a clinical decision support software for improving critical thinking, decision making, and differential diagnosis. This software is being used in about 2,000 hospitals and clinics in United States of America, and is also being used for teaching in about 100 medical schools there. We are planning now to training of this software next week for our faculty, and hopefully, inshallah, we will be starting using it within few days or few weeks. We are also planning to produce our own videos and multimedia on clinical skills and procedures by involving our own media school for standardized teaching. We are also planning to fill the gaps, as it was discussed before, especially clinical skills, by running a crash program once the traditional and conventional teaching resumes. These are few thoughts presented to you. There are many challenges faced by students and faculty, but I hope if we work as a team and if there is no me or you, but only we, then we will be successful, inshallah, as a nation to achieve our goals and learning outcomes in this virtual environment. Jazakallah khair. Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh.
Please, when you are typing question, write down the name of the teacher to whom you want to ask. We shall be full. Let me start with my presentation. The topic of my presentation is online learning environment and the role of the student.
Please share your slides.
Bismillah ar-Rahman ar-Rahim. The title of my talk is The Role of Student in Online Learning Environment, Teaching Strategies. The topics of the talk are what is online learning and its types, benefit of online learning environment, role of our great students in online learning, impact of online learning on teaching and learning process. So we need to understand what is online learning. E-learning or online learning refers to the online interaction between you as a student and the teacher. In this form of learning, the student take a course from the teacher without physically visiting an actual classroom with them, but through a virtual classroom. You are connected with your teacher through an internet connection using an e-learning platform, which we have at RIFA, named as Muallim. E-learning is a technology which supports teaching and learning using a computer web technology. It bridges the gap between a teacher and a student in different ways. Student can interact face-to-face with the teacher by using a software which named as Zoom and the Microsoft Teams. Delivery method of the online learning courses. There are two types, synchronous and the asynchronous courses which we can deliver online. What do you mean by or what we mean by the synchronous learning? The synchronous learning is when the class occur on a set schedule and time frames. Student and instructors are online at the same time in the synchronous classes, since lectures, discussions, and presentations take place at specific hours. All students must be online at that time in order to participate interactively in the classroom. So we can do this by using the Teams and Zoom, and it's a good news for us that we have integrated the Teams in the Muallim.
Madam, slides share please share your slides, madam.
Slides are on.
Not share.
I am sharing. नहीं चल रही slides?
No, ma'am, not share. Please share it.
देखें आप. Okay, the other mode is asynchronous learning. Asynchronous classes let the student complete their work on their own time. Courses and modules are uploaded on e-learning platform, Moodle, and students giving a time frame using which they listen their recorded lectures and other teaching resources. The student can use the books, article, reading material provided to them, and no matter what is the hour of the day or night, they can study at their own time and easiness. Assessments can be done through quizzes to certify the course. What are the benefits of online learning environment? There are many benefits if we can understand. It's led to the student-centered teaching and learning. It provides the flexibility for the student for the time hour to attend the classes and courses anywhere. Online courses material can be accessed 24 hours a day. It provides you the global knowledge. It's cost effective, better opportunity, and chance for interaction between their peer and colleague and the teachers. So what are online teaching and learning activities? It's provide us that the teacher can create discussion group. Asynchronous discussion forum can be fostered through this to understand the concepts which the student don't understand. Teacher could post a question and request student to comment. Student can post their comments to the discussion forum and can encourage the community of students to participate. Collaborative learning can be fostered and feedback can be provided to both, to the teachers and the student, two-way. What are your role? Our role, your role as a student, it's a pure learning, learner-centered. Online learning is a true learner-centered environment. The learner is involved in the beginning and at the end point of the learning process. It promotes the self-directed learning through different teaching and learning activities, as I told you before, while the synchronous teaching. That the student is an active partner in the learning process if you provide the synchronous teaching and motivate and activate the active participation of the student. Learning monitoring. In online learning, student can assess their own progress through formative assessment and feedback. Your teacher's assessment committee will give you the background of your assessment tool, which will be used in the formative assessment and in your low stakes stats assessment. Definitely, we provide you the feedback as well. And in this way, it will help you to identify the progress you have made and to understand what you have achieved and what you need to do next, and to make your progress towards the goal and achieving your better qualification. Okay, what is the impact of online learning on teaching and learning process? It improves the efficiency, both in learning and teaching. It increases your motivation and the teacher motivation, deepens the understanding, promote the collaborative two-way learning, gives new approach to learning and working, provide new ways interacting, increase the social skill, create interest in the learning, helpful for self-evaluation. As I told you, you can provide with the feedback and you can see your MCQ, what you have attempted. Your teacher will give you the feedback, what you have done right, what you have done wrong, and how you can improve yourself. So you can do the self-evaluation and self-regulation about your studies and skill. Wide reach and consistent. It's a user convenient, flexible, and rich medium for student. Useful tool can be used to address the student with different learning style and cognitive style. Self-pacing of slow and quick learner when you are doing the asynchronous programs and modules. We will inshallah make the asynchronous modules as well for you so that you, according to your time, you can do your courses. So what is the take-home message then? Truth of e-learning or online learning. Internet had started reshaping the education. Education will not be the same in the next decade. There is no going back. The traditional classroom has to be transformed. Many formal universities and colleges may not have much attention by the end of this decade. So it's a time to alarm for all of us to get ready with this environment. We need to build an online culture, teaching and learning culture. By what? By making the learner self-directed, self-motivated, self-regulated, lifelong learner, inshallah, and teacher develop the knowledge and skill, understanding and learning. So where is my presentation? Okay, thank you very much for my talk. May I invite the next presenter? Hello.
Yes, please.
Please, may I invite the next presenter? Our next presenter is Dr. Tahira Sadiq, a member of our assessment committee. Her topic of talk is online assessment tool to assess the knowledge and MCQs.
Thank you very much, Dr. Rahila. Assalamu alaikum, everyone. In this era of pandemic, assessment in medical education has transformed from paper and pen to electronic medium, from bubble sheet to Moodle. Knowing the fact that assessment drives learning, this session is planned to brief you about online assessment tools, how to assess knowledge. Taking into account students' perspective, there might be certain questions about assessment bothering them, like what is going to be assessed, where, when, who, and how they are going to be assessed. Coming to the first question, what is going to be assessed? Obviously, knowledge, attitude, and practice, all the learning domains would be assessed through MCQs, OSCE, lies, and attitude through giving you different situations. Where these assessments will be carried out, all your assessments will be carried out on the Moodle. We call it as Muallim. And the next question, when you will be assessed. So you will be, right now you are being assessed through your low stake, but later on, if the situation persists, you will be assessed through mid stake and high stake as well. The next, who is going to assess you? As you know, subject specialists from each discipline in the module will prepare, conduct, and assess your exams. Last, but the very important question is that how you are going to be completing all this procedure. So we are here to tell you the steps for attempting online quizzes. But before going to the steps, there are certain guidelines to minimize cheating and increasing the validity of exam. As you can see, a single attempt for MCQs would be allowed. There would be no backward navigation. Once you have attempted the question, you cannot go back and reattempt your previous question. Limited time for each item. If I talk about MCQ, there will be 1 minute for each MCQ. Different versions for each students with different question items and options. So there is no question of asking each other because every student will be having different questions. Simultaneous exam duration will be provided to each student. So now coming to the steps how to attempt online MCQs. So what you need to do is first you have to sign into the Mollim, that is Moodle, Rifa's Moodle, and then you, after filling the Mollim credentials, which are already provided to you through your SAP number and ID, you will be login and this screen of dashboard will appear. In the lower right corner of your screen, as you can see, there is upcoming event with date and time. It is displayed, and this is also communicated to you through your timetables as well. So when you will click to the event, a box with instructions for students will be open. Now, what you have to do is you have to clearly read the instructions. As you can see, it is telling you about the number of quiz, 10 questions, carrying equal marks. There are 10 minutes to attempt the quiz and single attempt is allowed. Only one option is correct and all the questions are shuffled and are in sequential manner. So when you will be go to activity when the quiz is about to open on the planned date and time. Again, window is reminding you for the instructions. So you can again see the instructions. Once you will click attempt quiz now, you will be asked to start attempt, and after clicking start attempt, your time count will start. This window with MCQ will appear. As you can see, after reading the scenario, click the correct answer. Other options you have on window is clear my choice. So if you are not satisfied with your answer before going to the next question, you can change the option as well. As you can see, there is quiz navigation at the upper right corner, which tells you that you have attempted one question and now you are on second question and 8 questions are remaining. There is time bar telling you that 8 minutes and 44 seconds are left for your quiz to close. Once you are done, click on the next page. That is on the right corner. One by one, you will be attempting all the questions and finally you are on the last question, that is question number 10. Once you are done with finish your all the MCQs, what you need to do is click to finish attempt. A confirmation box with submit all MCQ will appear. Once you click it, your quiz will be automatically submitted and you will be driven back to your course on Moodle. So the take-home message from my side is keep an eye on timetables and upcoming events about assessment and prepare the content. Be proactive to reduce issues like internet connectivity and login failures. Read instructions carefully before starting each quiz. At the end, I would like to assure you that your teachers and your institutes cares about you. They know how to bring best out of their students even in these situations. So thank you very much. If you have any question or feedback, please write down into the chat box and I will take the questions at the end. Thank you very much for active listening. Over to you, Dr. Rahila.
Ma'am, please switch on your mic. Yes.
Thank you, Dr. Tyra, for the useful talk. May I invite our next presenter, Dr. Shabana Ali, to give talk on online assessment tool to assess the skill, OSPI.
Thank you very much, Dr. Rahila. Assalamu alaikum, dear students. During COVID-19 pandemic, world is changing, so we are. We have switched to online educational platform for teaching and learning. As you know, that assessment drives learning, so it's very important to keep on assessing our students. So we stick to our low-stake assessment policy to support the learning process of our students. I'm here to discuss online assessment tool to assess skills in preclinical years through OSPI. Previously, OSPI was conducted in the OSPI rooms where we were having interactive OSPIs and we were using subjects in these OSPs were conducted by physiology, anatomy, biochemistry, pharmacology departments, and we were also having static OSPs where materials were used in the form of pictures, histology slides, instruments, drugs, poisons, bones, and graphs and many other things. But in present situation, assessment of practical exam has become a big challenge because we cannot assess psychomotor skills through online platforms. So answer to this question was again Moodle and our Muallim. And what we will be doing that we will be assessing you people, or the OSPI will be conducted on Moodle. But there will be a difference that their subject-based OSPs will not be conducted. So there are no interactive OSPs, there are no psychomotor skills now, and only static OSPs will be conducted through pictures of materials. And these materials can be the same: histology slide, instrument, drugs, equipment, or instruments, or bones and graphs. Therefore, paper-based OSPI station has been excluded, and now we are on Moodle for OSPIs, where you will be asked for spotting to label various pictures of instrument, tissues, organs, and there will be questions, 1 or 2 questions, through which we will assess your problem solving and critical thinking skills. So what we are doing is that we are asking you, we are checking your soft skills now. For your sake of convenience and to familiarize yourself, I have uploaded a test on Moodle, and let's start that how you will start you will attempt the OSPI in real life. Students will be informed through timetable about date and time of OSPI, and this usually occurs in weekly timetables. And when your teachers will upload OSPI on Moodle, Moodle will send you the information in upcoming event box. You can see here that there is uploaded information that MS module OSPI will appear on 8 AM and it will close on 8:30 AM. So you must log into your Moodle account through your SAP numbers at least 10 to 15 minutes before specific time in order to resolve any internet issues which you students will complain of, connectivity issues. So please log into your Moodle accounts at least 10 to 15 minutes before the specified time. Once you have logged in, you are there at your dashboard, and through your dashboard you will go to your respective module where you can see that I have uploaded an MS module OSPI for this webinar particularly. And there are also information written here. When you will click here, there is a first page showing you basic information of assessment. It is written here, you can see in the first box that there are 3 OSPI stations in this test, and all stations are compulsory, and you have 3 minutes to attempt each OSPI, but you are not allowed to navigate back. It's very important, and it's very important to read all the questions and answers one by one. It means that you read questions first and then write down their answer completely and then move to next question. In the bottom, you can see it is written here that only 1 attempt is allowed. It means that once you have uploaded your OSPI to Moodle, you will not be allowed to revisit your OSPI. And time limit given here is 10 minutes. When you will click on Start Attempt button, it will start your OSPI and it will bring you to the first OSPI station. Now we are here at our first OSPI station, and you can see here that on left side there's a quiz navigation box which shows that there are 3 OSPI stations in this assessment, and we are on first OSPI station, and it also shows you the time. While on the right side there's a picture given of a clinical problem, and there are 3 questions with very clear distribution of marks. When you will scroll down, you will see an answer sheet with keyboard. Now you will type all the answers here, and then you will click on next page button, and it will bring you to the OSPI station 2. If I don't write here, or if my question is answer is incomplete, and I navigate to third question, then You can see the quiz navigation box is showing that I have completed first question, but my second question is incomplete. Now I am on third question. Now it is important to remember here that I cannot go back to second question, and time remaining is still more than almost it's 3 minutes. So if I will write answers here and I will click the finish attempt box, Moodle will ask me for confirmation that you want to submit all and finish, and still Moodle is telling me that you have left one question unattempted. So we already know that what we have done. Once we will submit all, it means that we have sent our OSPE through Moodle to our teacher. Our teacher will grade our OSPE, and then a teacher will upload the marks on the same channel, that is Moodle. This was the whole process which you are supposed to follow during your low-stake assessments of practical exams in preclinical years from first to third year. In the end, I would like to emphasize that paper-based OSPEs has been excluded now, and all the OSPEs will be conducted on Moodle or Muallim. There will be no psychomotor skill assessment. We will be just assessing your soft skills. It's a difficult time, and we are basically, our surroundings are changing, scenario is changing, and remember, the secret to change is to focus all of your energy not on fighting the old, but on building the new. Therefore, only by joining hands, we will be able to carve a new path to reach the destination of learning. Thank you very much, my dear students. If you have any question, write down your questions in chat box. I will take your questions in the end. Thank you.
Thank you, Dr. Shabana, for very useful talk. We really learned about the OSPE. May I invite Professor Dr. Rehan, Chairperson Assessment Committee, to give a talk on to assess the clinical reasoning and diagnosis and management by using the script concordant test and OSCE. Dr. Rehan.
Bismillah ar-Rahman ar-Rahim. Dear students, I am Professor Dr. Rehan Ahmed Khan. I'm Assistant Dean Medical Education, Professor of Surgery, and Chair Assessment Committee. First of all, I would like to start with telling you that nothing is much changed as far as assessment is concerned. The only change is that what was being assessed in paper and pencil will now be assessed online. So that's one of the major changes. No percentages have been changed. No format has been changed. So the MCQs which you were being asked on bubble sheets will now be held on Moodle. And that has been very nicely explained by Dr. Tahira. And then regarding the OSPEs, it was very nicely explained by Dr. Shabana. I was seeing your questions in Q&A session, and we'll be answering them shortly when we have a Q&A session. What I'm going to explain to you is how are we going to assess the clinical skills through OSCE, and if we introduce some special type of MCQs for that purpose. So if you see that when I talk about clinical skills, we won't be assessing the psychomotor skills because that is not a possibility online. But still, we will be assessing your soft skills like spotting, critical thinking, problem solving, clinical reasoning, decision making. And all of this would be done through an online OSCE. I'm not going to go into the procedure again, I mean the logging in, because that has been explained by Dr. Tahira and Dr. Shabana. But there's something which you need to know. You see, it is expected that you have a appropriate or adequate internet connection, because without a proper internet connection, you may not even be able to have online teaching. So you need the same for an online assessment as well. So once you have a good internet, and specifically kindly ensure that you have a good internet connection when your assessment is planned, because your assessment, which I'm talking about, the low stake assessment, would be informed to you at least a week before, and then there would be a predetermined time. So you will be told that you'll have half an hour session of assessment, or 20 minutes or 10 minutes, depending upon the number of MCQs or OSCEs or OSPEs. And this is, I'm talking about the low stake assessment only, which is 10% weightage. So coming back to the OSCE, you can see here that as you given scenarios in OSCEs, similarly, when you will log in through Modelim and you will take your test, which will have a predetermined time and will have only sequential navigation. The sequential navigation means that you cannot back to the previous OSCE. I can understand this is difficult for you. So, there may be ideas which may be coming to your mind later on. But the problem is when we talk about online assessments and where we're not using cameras to monitor you, we cannot, have this privilege of going back, because, what we need to do is we need to prevent unfair means. And for that reason, the option of going back has been not been given. So once you get an OSCE or a MCQ or an OSPE, what would be offered to you is only sequential navigation, that is forward navigation only. You will have 3 minutes as you get for an OSCE or an OSPE for this OSCE station as well. You can see from here that you will be given a scenario, and on this scenario will be asked certain questions. You will answer those questions as you were told in OSPE. You will get a separate window in which you can write as you write in Word. And the OSCE or OSPE would be planned as such that the answers would be straightforward. So you don't need more than 3 or 4 minutes on that. This is not the only option on which you get an OSCE. We are working on it. I'm not saying that you'll get it, but if you are shown a video of a clinical procedure or a clinical method or anything like that, you may still get that in your OSCE exam as well. And there would be intermittent questions embedded inside the video as a quiz. So you can get that type of OSCE as well. You may get for students who are in final year or in the clinical years of third year, fourth year, may have an online viva or case-based discussion, specifically when we talk about slides, which is that the structured long case. So we will be holding your low stake assessment online as well, and that would be done through MS Teams. Then this is another example. In an OSCE, you may be asked to identify the hotspots, and then you need to write down what type of area we are asking. The last thing which is not yet included, I'm repeating it, so don't worry about it. This is not yet included in your low stake assessment, but this is a type of MCQ which basically informs your ability of decision making. I'm just going to give you a brief overview of it. This may be included in your mid-stake assessment, and for that, first you would be taught about these script concordance tests, and there would be a pilot on it. You'll be trained, and only then we will include it in mid-stake assessment. So this is not a part of your assessment at the moment, so please don't worry about it. So what is a script concordance test? It's only a type of MCQ. The difference is that you would be given a brief clinical problem here. So there would be a scenario, and then you would be asked a relevant hypothesis regarding it. And then you would be told that what if you get a new finding, what would be your answer? So and then you have to make a decision. So on a scale of -2 to +2, which option are you going to select? So as an example, I'll show you here. So the clinical problem is an elderly African American man presents to the primary care physician with a persistent cough, and he complains of recently developing hoarseness in his speech. He has had some mild but persistent back pain for about 6 months. His temperature was normal and is currently on medication for a sinus infection and chronic high blood pressure. So this is a vignette, and this is just an example that you'll get such a clinical scenario. So reading this clinical scenario, if you thought this was lung cancer, but then you get this additional information that patient quit smoking 5 years ago. So what do you think now? Do you think that this is a likely diagnosis? Very likely? If you think it's very likely or much more probable, you say +2 or +1. So one of them would be the right answer. So this is a special type of MCQ. We're not including it yet, but to know your ability of decision making, which is very important once you become a doctor. So we'll be including this as well. So I'll sum it up before I finish my talk, that as far as your assessment is concerned, you'll only be having low stake assessments. In low stake assessments, we would be doing the knowledge part through MCQs, the clinical or the practical or the skill part through OSPEs in basic sciences, OSCEs in clinical sciences, and I've explained to you OSCE. And the attitude part, then that would be explained by Dr. Humaira. Thank you very much, and over to Dr. Rahila again.
Thank you, Dr. Rehan. Very informative talk. And we also understand about the script concordance. Thank you, sir, for OSCE and both. May I invite our next presenter, Professor Humaira Fayaz. She is also member of assessment committee. She will introduce you the how to assess the attitude and professionalism through the tool named as situational judgment test. Dr. Humaira Fayaz Khan.
मैम आप अपनी स्लाइड पहले शेयर कर लें मिस्टर मेरा और माइक भी ऑन कर लें.
शेयर हो गई?
नहीं मैम अभी नहीं हुई आपकी स्लाइड शेयर प्लीज.
Assalamu alaikum everyone. Thank you Dr. Rahila for the introduction. Dear students, you have been briefed by my colleagues about the different assessment methodologies that are being carried out in the Rifa University. In the Rifa
Slides, sorry for interrupt. Slides please share.
अर्शद साहब किया है मैंने.
मैंने तो जा रहा होगा नहीं वो आ गई.
स्लाइड शेयर हो गई?
नहीं मैम नहीं हुई.
स्लाइड शो पे जाइए.
स्लाइड शेयर हो गई?
नो मैम अभी नहीं हुई.
मैम इस स्क्रीन को मिनिमाइज करें और वो स्लाइड शो करें. जी मैम हो गया.
जी ओके फाइन.
Okay, sorry.
Please start.
Assalamu alaikum everyone. Thank you for the introduction and for the help in putting up my presentation. Dear students, you have been briefed by my colleagues on the different assessment methodologies that are being carried out in the Rifa University for the purposes of assessment. I will be discussing today another method of assessment of attitude, and in particular the situation judgment test. There are different domains of assessment, as you very well know, and these are skills, knowledge, and attitude. For the knowledge, we assess the students via the MCQs and the Viva Voce, and for skill purposes, the OSCE, OSPE, SLICE, long case, short cases are taken for the assessment purposes. Now the attitude, which is an internal state of mind, and it influences a person's choices and decisions to act under certain conditions. You may think, dear students, that you're not being assessed, but that is not so. You are being assessed, and especially during this period of COVID-19, you're having online classes and online small group discussions and assessments. You are being assessed for the low stake assessments via your small group activities, through the communication skills classes, through the PBLs that you are having with your students and with your teachers. And in the PBLs, you know very well, you are assessed, your feedback is taken from the instructor and from the peers as well. And in the communication skills, you learn breaking bad news, and you interact with the patients, how you interact with the patients. These are all assessing your attitude towards the patients, your peers, your colleagues. So you are being assessed and you are being marked for the low stake assessments. But in this particular situation, I want you to be to familiarize with another assessment method, which is for the situational judgment test. Now, what is situational judgment test? Situational judgment tests are assessment methodologies which are designed to assess the non-academic attributes, especially the empathy, the integrity, and the resilience. And you all very well know that these attributes are you study in the professionalism module. So these attributes are required for by the students for problem solving in the work related situations. So the situational judgment test basically measure the reactions of students in certain environments, how they'll respond and they'll react. So the situational judgment test basically assesses the judgment skills, the critical thinking, and the decision making power of the students. So let me go to the structure and format of the situational judgment test, how these are structured and formatted in the for the students. How these tests are being carried out all over the world, especially in the UK, to test the aptitude and the and all these critical skills for the students when they enter into the clinical world. So there will be a scenario which will be a hypothetical problem which will be situated in the work environment. Then it will be followed by instructions or the lead-ins that you see generally in your MCQ papers. And this will be followed by responses. There will be 3 to 7 responses, but in our setup, it will be generally up to 5 responses. And all of these are the courses of action that require the student to exhibit judgment in certain circumstances. They'll have to decide which response they'll make in that certain situation. So there are different formats for the situational judgment tests. There can be a multiple response format, there can be a ranking response format, and there can be a best response format. In the multiple response format, you people can have more than one response to choose from. You will have to choose for more than one response. And in the ranking, you'll have to rank the responses that are given. And in the best response format, that is quite similar to the one that you're already having, that is one correct MCQ format. So when and where you will be tested, this will be is still to be decided. As I've told you that low stake assessments are already being done in your various activities. These will be carried out for the mid-stake exams, and before they are piloted, before they are given to you, they will be properly piloted, and you will be properly coached in how to attempt them. So no need to worry, dear students. You will be, inshallah, looked after by as usual by the university. So when and if you go on to the online assessment of these SJTs online, these are the formats you already know. You've been told by Dr. Tahira and Shabana and how you'll have to approach these online. You'll have to log in, and of course then you'll be directed towards your volume page, and you'll have to click from there onto the professionalism module. So this is one scenario as an example, because you might be worried now what type of questions you might be getting. So this is a scenario. Here you can see the especially if the first year students are there. You can see the underlined and important points which you have already studied. Here you can see the scenario now. I'll read it to you. You have been approached by a colleague, Ahmed, who has been on DCH visit with another first year colleague, Hamad, for the last 2 weeks. Ahmed tells you that Hamad has gradually become increasingly negligent and careless during patient interaction. On 3 occasions, Ahmed tells you that he has found Hamad without his white coat and untidy look with uncombed hair whilst on duty. You know Ahmed very well and have never witnessed such a behavior when you have worked with him previously. So now this was the scenario. Now you have to read the instructions carefully. While critically analyzing this situation, select the 2 most appropriate responses that can be, or the course of action that can be taken. Now you'll be, I am showing you the options, and from these options you have to select the 2 most appropriate options. And you can see, advise Ahmed to document his concern, tell Ahmed that you have never witnessed such a behavior from Hamad, inform a senior colleague about what Ahmed has told you, and advise Ahmed to speak to a senior colleague about his concerns, and suggest to Ahmed that he speak to Hamad directly about his concerns. So this is a manner in which a multiple response format may be shown to you, and on paper or online. Now going on to the using the best response format scenario. This is another scenario. In this, there is a patient-doctor interaction, and in this, again, now you have to select a better course of action to pursue in this scenario. And as you can see, there is only select one option. So this is quite similar to the one to the MCQs that you get, but there is a scenario, and you have to select a course of action. So at the end, let me just briefly summarize the assessment of Rifa University. It is based on the Miller's Pyramid, on the cognition and the behavior elements. We have the knowledge, skills, and attitude. Various practices are carried out in the knows how, shows how, and does level. For the knowledge, we assess you through the MCQs. For the skills, OSPI, OSCE, slides are being carried out, and if possible in future, script concordant test, which Dr. Rehan has very briefly discussed with you. And attitudes, situational judgment tests might be carried out, but that will be after the 31st of May. And if online, we will all let you know if these are to be carried out in future. So at the end, the take-home message from me is train your mind to see the positive in every situation. Thank you very much. And if you have any questions, please write them in the chat box and I'll answer them.
Thank you, Professor Dr. Humaira. Very useful talk. Thank you very much. Now it's time to take the questions. I quickly gone through some of the questions. These are very relevant questions. Brigadier Maqsood and General Azhar are also here.
Yes.
Okay. So let me begin with the question and answer session. There's a question from the student that, can you hear all of me? Teachers can hear me?
Yes. Please
okay.
Turn on all your mics.
There is a question from the student. They're asking about the final date of the CBA, its weightage, and they want that these dates to be informed that 2 or 3 weeks before the start of the exam. Brigadier
Yes, we've already said during the closure, no CBAs or mid-stake assessments will be done. We will definitely inform them about the mid-stake assessments or CBAs at least 3 weeks prior to the start of the CBAs. And CBAs will not be online if we can meet the first deadline, that is 31st May. But if the closure continues beyond 31st July, then we may consider by 15th of June to conduct our CBAs online. But for that, we'll start training our students for mid-stake assessment first. Otherwise, no mid-stake assessment online. First, we will train our students. Dates will be announced at least 3 weeks prior to CBAs. We'll be doing gap assessment, and after they join the university, there will be leftover training of theirs, and then CBAs will be held.
Thank you, sir. Thank you very much. There is another question. A student asked that is it possible to increase time limit for the each MCQ on Moalem? Cause it take time to open next question, read it, recall it, and to solve it. Can you help them in increasing the time MCQ on Moalem? Dr. Rehan, can you respond to this question?
So sorry, Dr. Raila, can you please repeat the question quickly, because I was just seeing you because Brigadier Maqsood was not live on the student side, so I was just confused. Sir. Can you repeat the question?
Dr. Rehan, students are asking, can you increase the time of solving one MCQ on the Moalem? Because they are saying it takes time to solve it, to think it and solve it.
Okay. As I previously actually explained to you, that to avoid unfair means, we cannot do that actually. What we are trying to tell you is that if you get 20 MCQs, you will be having 20 minutes. And it's the same principle that is being used for bubble sheets. The only difference is some of the students are saying they may have slow internet connection. But unfortunately, on our side, we would never know that how slow connection you have. Maybe a question may take 3 to 4 minutes to load, or it breaks down in between. In such cases, first of all, my suggestion to you is that please arrange a place or a venue where you can have a good internet connection, so that these issues do not come up. But if these issues are unavoidable, as mentioned by the worthy vice principal, he said that if you are able to produce a genuine proof that this is the situation which is at your end and this has happened, and due to unavoidable circumstances you are not able to take that low stake assessment, in that case your application would be considered on case-to-case basis, and you may be given a choice. You may be given an opportunity to submit an assignment, but please bear in mind that that assignment would be at the level of analysis or evaluation. That would be at the level of problem solving, and also that assignment would be sort of a long essay question, and it would go through similarity check with other student papers and from the internet and other places. So that would require a genuine work from your side. So this is what we will be going through.
May I add on this? We have been instructed by the university that specifically those students who find difficulty in internet connection may reach out to us through their class coordinators, through their CRGRs or class teachers, and in specific instances, the university will extend itself to try and improve their internet connections.
Yes, sir. There's the same question student have asked. If I miss out an assessment due to an issue of internet connection, can I get another chance?
That has been already answered by Professor Rehan. If he misses because of the internet and proves it that it has been missed because of the internet, then we'll give him the assignment, and that will be an analytical assignment.
Thank you, sir. Thank you very much. There is another issue raised by the student that before they are doing their formative assessment, they don't have the lectures on those topics. The student want lectures to be uploaded on the Moalem so that they can attempt their formative assessment. So it is the request to all teachers. Please do this.
We have now integrated MS Teams to Moalem, and the lectures will automatically the live classroom will get recorded on Moalem and will be available to students. maybe in a couple of days or so, inshallah.
Okay, sir. Thank you. Okay, they're again and again asking about the date of the CBA. That should be an
CBA, probably I was not live. I'll repeat my answer. There will be no CBA if the online, if the university opens by 31st May. Only formative assessments will be carried out. Weightage will be the same as already, Professor Rehan has already talked about it. The weightage will remain formative assessment 10%, CBS 30%, and 60% for final assessments, final exams. There will be no change of weightages. No CBS will be held online if we can get the university, or if the situation permits and the university opens by 31st May or even 31st June. But if it goes beyond that, we'll first train the students on online assessment, and only then we will announce CBA dates at least a month earlier if it is to be held on online or through Muallim.
Thank you, sir. There is another question. Dr. Shabana, maybe you can answer. Which platform will be used for the formative assessment, especially for OSPEs?
All the formative assessments will be carried out on OSPE, on Moodle, on Muallim. And this was basically drill which we have gone through a moment before. And they need to stick to that drill. We will upload this presentation as well, and a small video will also be uploaded. They need to go through it again, and the same process will be followed when their teachers, their departments will upload their OSPE on Moodle.
Dr. Rahila, I'll add something to it. Because many of the students were asking that, do we have to submit and finish? Well, if you finish in time and you want to submit it earlier, that's fine. But if you do not finish in time, so the Moodle will automatically submit your answers which you have answered during that duration. So you should be very clear that even if you don't submit and finish, your answers will be submitted and you will be given score for only those questions which you have answered in that time.
Okay, thank you, sir. In online formative assessment and OSPEs, there should be MCQs only, because there is a limit and we are not that faster in typing. The same problem they are discussing. Dr. Shabana?
I think there's a difference. In MCQs, we are giving only 1 minute. And for OSPE, we are giving them 3 minutes. And definitely there will be pilot study first. Department will check. They will discuss all the OSPE stations before uploading them on Muallim, because they will make questions according to the time limit. Time limit for OSPE will be 3 minutes, just like the regular OSPE. And I would like to ask Dr. Rehan if you would like to add something to this.
Yes, I mean, I was reading some questions from the students, and one of the students wrote that I'm going to write it on the paper sheets first, and then I'll transfer it onto the window in the Moodle. So my advice would be, please don't do that. You have to write the answers directly into the Moodle, and don't waste your time first writing it on a piece of paper and then shifting it onto the window in the Moodle. So for all practical purposes, if you've not been practicing how to use MS Word, please start doing that from now.
Okay, thank you, Dr. Rehan. There's a question from Dr. Tahira. Tahira is here?
Yes, ma'am, I can hear you.
Okay, the question is that, can we return to a question after moving to the next page, but before submitting it?
No, actually, I was also reading these questions 2 to 3 times. These questions are repeated, but we have policy, especially for online assessments, for MCQs, you cannot navigate back. There is only one option for forward navigations. So once you have attempted one question and finish attempt and move to the next, you cannot go back. But on the same question sheet, if you have clicked option B, which you think is correct, then at the bottom there is an option to clear the option and you can refill again. It is just like erasing your previous response and adding the new. But once you are going to the next question, you cannot navigate back.
Dr. Raila,
Thank you, ma'am.
add something.
Please, ma'am. Ji Shabana.
Dr. Tara has cleared about MCQs, and same rules are applicable for OSPI and OSCE. Students are not allowed to navigate back. They are allowed to go to each question, solve each question in a specific time, and then questions are shuffled. It's very important to remember all these three rules, that questions are shuffled. Whether it's MCQ or OSPI, they will not be allowed to navigate back to the previous question. Thank you very much.
Thank you. Dr. Rehan, if I can see, there are so many students are asking about the weightage of their assessment. I think they already know, but they're asking the mid-stakes assessment, which is you are taking, what will be the weightage towards the final exam, towards the CB and final exam?
Okay,
they're asking
as already explained by Bagheera Maqsood, that no weightages have been changed. 10% weightage remains the same. All online low-stake assessments, which will be done through MCQs, OSPIs, OSCEs, and SLICE, they will be added to your final weightage at the end. So, and as again explained by Bagheera Maqsood, that we are not taking mid-stake assessment at the moment unless the lockdown goes beyond 31st July. And you will be obviously told that at least 3 weeks before if we plan to do that.
Okay, there is another question, Brigadier Maqsood, from you. They're asking, will our Ramadan timetable be the same via, I mean, from they are saying about the classes will start at 8 a.m. They're asking about the timing of classes in Ramadan.
Someone other can reply.
I think the timings will remain the same. Timings are not going to change because Ramadan, we get up rather earlier.
Okay, sir.
We'll continue with the schedule.
Okay, sir. Dr. Shabana, the students are asking, do we have any upcoming online OSPI for the previous head and neck module?
No. Administration has decided to carry out all the scheduled OSPIs of this module. Like we are having MS module in first year right now and endocrine module in second year. So we are not going back. If we will get time and students will be also on same page, then we can have for their learning purpose. Or if the administration will decide to, when administration will decide, then we will carry it out.
Okay, another question from you, Dr. Shabana. The question is that while attempting our OSPI, if the time runs out and we haven't clicked and submit the button, will it be submitted automatically or considered cancel?
Dr. Rehan has already answered this question that if even you don't submit your answers when you have finished with your OSPI, they will be automatically submitted to the Moodle and they will be sent for grading.
Okay, thank you. The question is from Brigadier Maqsood is here, or General Azhar will answer. Sir, students are asking about the summer break.
There will be, we have planned because our motor side, psychomotor side will be left. We have to ensure that we cover the curriculum at the moment, no summer break. And if we get some time for the preparation of CBA, that we will definitely consider. But curriculum comes first. And then comes the question of summer break. It totally depends, but at the moment, no summer break is planned. Clear or?
Dr. Rehan, students are asking about the psychomotor skill assessment.
Okay, as previously explained, that if you're talking about doing a clinical method or a procedural task, that obviously we don't plan to. But having said that, there would be slice, which means structured long case, would still be there. And in that, we would assess your skills like history taking, if it comes to the clinical methods, the process of it, then your decision making, problem solving. So all of these soft skills will be still be assessed. There's one question which I was reading there, asking time and again and saying that they should have free navigation between MCQs as it is allowed in other international exams. So let me be very clear that those international exams are not taken at home, and they are taken in certain defined criteria. And if we get that technology that we can monitor your laptops from here, which means that camera can be put on, and we can see that you're just solving your questions and there is no other helping aid around you, that may be a consideration, but not at the moment. Thank you.
To all of the teachers, students are requesting that during moving this COVID era, they left their book at the hostel and they want the e-copies of the book, if can be uploaded on the Muallim. This message to all of the teachers, if you can help the students. Do we have any? Shabana, on kijega mic.
Inshallah, ma'am, I have already talked to students that they should tell us the books which they don't have. Then we will upload definitely on all those books on Muallim. We are already made our folders. If they let us know that the number of books or the names of books which they have left on in hostels, we will definitely do that.
The students are requesting to increase the OSPI time because all the students don't have the same typing speed.
I think they are asking for the same thing again and again.
Again and again, yes.
And as Dr. Rehan said, these are very small questions. They will check their problem solving and critical thinking portion. And these are the soft skills. We will be asking them to label pictures of instrument, of some like equipment, or some drug, or some poison, or some model. So it's not that difficult.
Okay. Ma'am Raila, ask the students how many messages they type in a day.
Okay, sir, I'll say that. You are right. I'm with you. Okay, they're asking about the prep leave before the professional exams. Are we going to provide them prep leave for the professional exam?
Professional exams are quite far away. So if the things go like up till 31st May, definitely those things will be there. The professional exams are still very far away. So for that, I think they will be given some leave to prepare the exams.
Okay, sir. Thank you, sir. They are asking about the summer vacation again and again and repeating the same question, talking about the OSPI time. I'm just reading their questions.
You ask them, what would you like to have first? To be a doctor in time? Or you don't want to be doctor in the stipulated time?
Yes.
Okay,
there. Oh, yes, sir. Yes, sir, you're back.
Yeah. One thing about the exams, yes, for the professionals, as Dean has said, professionals are still, we are hoping that God will be kind for us to have an opportunity to give them that window of preparing for the professional exams, which are still far off. The whole effort is to keep their academic calendar within this 1 year. As for CBAs, if they have to be after the 31st May period, we will not give them preparatory leave for CBAs, but we'll announce CBA dates at least 3 weeks in advance.
Okay, sir. Student have a request that can the lecture be recorded and published on the Muallim?
We've been talking about it. Muallim doesn't have so much space that it can have a live recorded lecture on. But IT people are working on it. There may be some further improvement on it.
Okay. There, Rehan, Dr. Rehan, they are again and again asking about to increase the time for OSPI, to increase the time for MCQ. I'm looking at the question.
Well, as also explained by Dr. Shabana, that the OSPIs and OSCEs will be designed in such a way that 3 minutes would be more than enough to answer them. They will not be asking for very long answers. In majority of the cases, it would be spotting, drag and drop, or very quick, very short answers. So if you know the answer to the question, you will just write there. And if you don't know, then you cannot write stories about it. So, this is like, we're not expecting from them to write very long answers. So 3 minutes would be more than enough.
Okay, thank you, sir. Dr. Maqsood, the students are asking how will the attendance be marked for the student, since many students drop out of online class due to internet connection and they message in order to get their attendance marked. CRG are allowed to mark their attendance because there is uncertainty whether they were attending the class in the first place.
If they join the class and then drop out, we'll see as to if it is because of the internet connection, then they will probably be given attendance. Otherwise, they will not be given attendance.
I will say also add to it. I was just going to talk to you about it as well. I've basically added a Microsoft form in my attendance section. So what happens is whenever a student is going to come to my class, he will click on that attendance Microsoft forms. He's going to write his name and the topic and the class. And the Microsoft form will automatically record the time the student entered and the time the student left. So we'll have that track record on Microsoft forms for each class. I will share this with you, and probably all teachers can do that. The students
already the integration of MS Teams with Muallim has that automated attendance log. It will record students joining of the class and leaving the class for each of the sessions.
So,
okay, sir.
So it will be in the Muallim. So there will be no problem with that.
Yeah. Okay.
Okay. It's a question from IT team. Usman. Usman is here.
Yes, ma'am. Yes.
They are asking. Students are asking.
Yes, ma'am.
They want a recording of this. They want a recording of this session. Can we do for them, Usman?
Yes, this is automatically recorded. We can share, inshallah, link with the students and the faculty members who want to see this again.
Not this one. All the lectures you're asking about.
Other lectures, if the teachers start the class and switch the recording on, they must be on the team and they can see any time when they want. Their recording is automatically saved on the team, and there is a 1 TB space on the online save of this data, online classes and as well as lectures or meetings.
Dr. Maqsood, thank you, Usman. Dr. Maqsood, they are asking about the Ramadan timing.
Similar to the usual Ramadan timings, we'll reduce it to 8 to 1.
8 to 1. Okay. They're also asking about the CBA according to the schedule. Our surgery rotation is completed after 2 weeks. So after this medicine rotation started, so which CBA is conducted first?
As soon as they join the training, like for example, from surgery and medicine, surgery rotation has been finished. We will be doing gap assessment, and medicine rotation has started now. The gap that we identify when they rejoin surgery, people will do that gap. The medicine rotation will stop there at where it is on 31st of May. They will go back to their surgery rotation, complete their surgery, start their medicine rotation. Like for example, similarly for other classes also, I may add, like for example, endocrinology in 4th year has finished, but we did not give the gap for assessments. We've started a reproductive module for them immediately, but on 31st of May, we'll stop reproductive module. And what gap we have assessed for endocrinology, we will take them back to that gap and cover that gap in practicals. That after that gap has been covered, they will have their CBA first, and then they will go to reproductive module again. That is how we'll be managing the academic calendar.
There's a question from a final year student. I want to ask that when our clinical clasship shall continue after the college has reopened, we will continue from the same module. We are going before the vacation.
I've just said we'll have a gap assessment exercise by the module coordinators. That gap will be first fulfilled, so that the clerkship that has already been undertaken online and there is a gap there, we will first fulfill that gap. Say for instance, we talked about surgery and medicine. Surgery has been finished, and they have gone on to medicine. But when they rejoin, we'll first do surgery again and finish surgery and get their CBA done with. Then they will go to medicine.
Okay, thank you, sir. The question is from Dr. Rehan and Taira. I think the same question. On various international online exam, it is allowed to mark a question and revisit the question if you are not unsure. The total time limit remained the same. Can we do that here as well? The same question.
Rahila, I've already answered it.
Yes,
the
sir. Yes.
national exams are not taken home. So they have all those arrangements in which they can ensure the security, privacy, and unfair means. Because we are doing these low-stake assessment at home, so at the moment we don't have that facility in which we can monitor them through their cameras. If that facility can be arranged, then we may relax this navigation of MCQs. But till then, it would only be sequential navigation, which means you cannot go back to the question. Thank you.
No, thank you. Thank you. More, I am looking at the question. More of the question are same, already answered by our great teachers who are working day and night for you people. We are really thankful to all of the teachers and staff and students as well. I think we can pack our session. It's 1.5 hours.
Concluding remarks by Dean of
yes, may I invite General Azhar to give the concluding remarks, sir, please.
My thanks to the faculty, for IT people for arranging this webinar to educate our students on how we are going to move in these circumstances. My thanks to the students for their patient listening, asking questions and developing more clarity. My only little suggestion is, like, this is an opportunity. Like myself, I am trying to improve my words per minute in typewriting. And you are so young, and I'm sure you must be messaging at a lightning speed every day, typing about 20 messages a day. So I'm sure the gaps which you have identified, you will be able to do that. And in our plan, the basic philosophy is to ensure that your time is not lost and you are able to cover the curriculum. So our priority is curriculum. First, your time, precious time, is very important for us. So in changing times, challenging times, I think you would agree with us what we have planned. Any of your queries which are there, I'm sure you can send them to us wherever possible. we will, inshallah ta'ala, try to be helpful to you. And thank you very much once again. And from my side, Allah Hafiz, Allah Aapka Hami wa Nasiru.
Thank you, sir. Thank you very much. So here I'm ending this webinar, and please, we'll send you the feedback form. If you have a time, please fill out for us, requesting to the students. Thank you very much. Allah Hafiz.
Thank you very much.
Allah Hafiz, all of you.
Much.
Thank you very much.
Thank you,
Lots of
madam.
prayers for
बहुत
all of
शुक्रिया.
you.